Okay, from one sport to another now, IndyCar races are returning to Portland this September. It's been more than 10 years since the last event in PDX. So today, we're getting a preview of what to expect with IndyCar driver Charlie Kimball. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you were telling me, we were just at the Rose Cup races last week here on Portland today. What's the difference between what those guys are doing and what IndyCar is? And you had a really good metaphor kind of.
So in IndyCar racing, it's the same cars that we race at the Indianapolis 500.
Very fast.
Yeah.
Very fast, single-seater, open cockpit, no power steering. 750 horsepower.
Wow. That's tough to wrangle with. If you've ever driven something without power steering,
Exactly.
It's an experience.
So we'll see a top speed at PIR of probably about 180, 190 miles an hour.
It's like a jet.
Exactly, a little like fighter jets on the ground.
Wow.
That is amazing. I was reading about you, and I was kind of blown away to learn that you deal with type 1 diabetes. Obviously, you deal with it very well, but you actually monitor your insulin level and all of that while you're driving 200 miles an hour.
Yeah, my IndyCar is different than everyone else's because my body's different. So I wear a sensor on my body, and it transmits to a display that plugs into the car's data system. So on my steering wheel, on my electronic dash, I have speed, lap time, oil pressure, blood sugar, water temperature, gear, my car, and body data right there together.
Wow, that's amazing.
One more thing, though, right?
Yeah.
It is one more sensor, but at the same time, while I'm in the cockpit, I'm focused on what's happening, and it's just one more piece of information for me to look at.
And you're the first winning Verizon IndyCar Series driver with diabetes.
Correct, yep.
So yes, you had to kind of modify your car for that. What is it like, I mean, when you're sitting in that car? I got a small taste of it last week at those Rose Cup races. But I mean, like the insides of the cars are totally different. And yeah, you said no power steering, so I mean, you're working. I mean, it's like an arm workout, basically.
It is. It's cardiovascular, it's strength. My average heart rate during the course of the race is between 150 and 175.
Oh, wow.
I'll burn 1,500 to 2,000 calories during the event itself. And it's the end of 3 days of racing. The race at Portland International Raceway is August 31st to September 2nd.
Because it's not a cool time of year, and it's not cool in those cars, right? So you're sweating a lot.
So we get no air conditioning.
You have no air.
Now, to be
no
fair,
power steering.
there is a bit of a breeze at 200 miles an hour through the cockpit. So we do stay cool, but I'm looking forward to coming back to the Pacific Northwest to race. It's a race I grew up watching on TV as a kid when I was watching Champ Car and IndyCar racing. So to come back for the first time in over 10 years is very special.
We're so glad you're coming back. I'm sure the fans, I'm sure you hear from them on social media. They must be elated that it's returning.
And they are. And it's not just the fans here in Portland, but it's across the PNW. Honestly, everybody, we have friends in Seattle that are already making their Labor Day plans to come down to Portland for the weekend for the race, and friends in Indianapolis that are coming out to go hiking and camping, come out to the race on Sunday,
and
then
whole
spend
weekend.
Labor Day out in the beautiful parts that Portland has to offer.
Yeah, we'll be glad to have them, that's for sure.
So if people aren't very familiar with these kinds of races or these kinds of cars, like clearly I am not, what is kind of a great draw that you would say? I mean, when it seems like the announcers, you know, when they're speaking through these races and the laps, they're obviously very knowledgeable, and they kind of describe like what you guys are going through and what happens next and what to watch for.
So you don't have to know a lot
so you
to
don't
go?
feel silly
not at all.
not knowing.
You can go out and you can either watch it on TV, it'll be live on NBC Sports Network, or at the racetrack itself. Tickets start as low as $20.
Nice.
Kids 12 and under are free.
Nice.
Ticket information's at portlandgp.com. But when they go out there, you can see the cars firsthand. Our friends who have not been race fans, the first time they come to the race to support me, fall in love with it because
it's exciting
it gets in your blood so
quickly.
It's so fast and fun and precision. And the engineering side of the cars as well.
Yeah, and a whole day event. You can spend the day.
And a full weekend, really, with Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of Labor Day weekend. There are multiple other races going on, other cars, as well as the sort of keynote event of IndyCars. That Green Flag is Sunday, September 2nd, about 11:30 in the morning.
Perfect. All right, and you can get more information at portlandgp.com. It starts August 31st.
Well, we have someone to root for, Charlie. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to say we knew him win. Look, he won. We know him. And coming up, we're going to check in with Kathy right now. She has a very unique art gallery.